worst vice president. You're the worst border czar. There's never been anybody bad like you. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here.
Meanwhile.
Do you want to build a snowman?
This is my own private domicile and I will not be harassed! Bitch!
Okay, bye.
What is up, guys? Tyson DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. We did it. We did it. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Shout out to everybody that's catching this on the live. Let me remove this. Let me see who's in the live chat. What is going on? What is going on? What a day. We did it. Finally, the fourth attempt of the Barry Soetoro reign is done. Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Obama, had 2 terms. Then he had a 3rd term with Joe Biden. And he was attempting to do his 4th term. But we said, Mr. Soetoro, not today. Not today. Let's see who's in the chat. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. What is up, my mind? How's everybody doing? We had a fantastic stream last night. We were rocking. Super champs, super chats galore. I wanted to jump in. So apparently, based on what I've seen, sources, is that Kamala Harris has locked herself in the bedroom. I don't know if she's boozing up. I don't know what she's doing. Doug Emhoff is knocking. Do you want to build a snowman? And she's like, no, no. How sad and pathetic was it last night when all of her supporters showed up to support Kamala Harris at Howard University, and they send out, not even Kamala Harris. They didn't even send out Kamala Harris. They send out one of her representatives, all of her supporters, to say this.
Welcome Harris for President campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond.
Got to mute it. Here he comes. So they send out this guy, Cedric.
The Harris campaign, the campaign family, thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in the promise of America. We still have votes to count. We still have states that have not been called yet.
Mind you, this was at about, this was probably about 12 a.m. EST. They come out, her supporters were rallying around her, and they send Cedric out. They said, Cedric, go talk to the people. Tell them that Kamala Harris ain't coming out because she's boo-hoo, whining, and crying.
We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the vice president tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation. So thank you. We believe in you. May God bless you. May God keep you. And go HU and go Harris.
This is basically what the Democratic Party thinks of the individuals that support them. They say, hey, come to Howard in the cold. Okay, we're not done constructing the stage yet. They weren't done constructing the stage by the time final numbers were out on a few states. And this is the way, and this is how they feel about their supporters. Just like what Joe Biden said, garbage. They don't care. Kamala Harris didn't even come out and say, hey, thank you for all your support. I know I'm losing. What a sore loser. Her butt cheeks were clenched so tight that she didn't have the moxie to come out to talk to her supporters and at least say thank you. This is what the Democrats think of the individuals that vote for them. This is a clear sign. What do you guys think about that? Yes. It's bananas to me. Anyways, shout out everybody in the chat. This guy, sad. It's incredibly disrespectful to all the supporters that support her. I don't know why they would, especially after that, right? Anyways, Babylon Bee releases this. Kamala Harris got a new job. She got a new job, and you wouldn't believe it. She's the voiceover for the new Alexa.
Do you like your Amazon Echo, but wish its answers were more confusing? Introducing Amazon Echo Alexa Edition. This great new device will just give you a long, rambling answer to anything you ask.
Alexa, what's the weather like today?
Weather is big. Weather is exciting. And did you know that files are stored in the cloud? Your files, they're all up there, up in the cloud. In the cloud. So the climate is changing, and that's bad.
Oh, hey, Alexa, what time is it?
The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. When you think about it, there is a great significance to the passage of time.
Thanks, Alexa.
Alexa has millions of great answers to your questions. Whether you're wondering about the stock market, traffic in your area, or the Roman Empire, Alexa has got you covered. Amazon Echo Alexa Edition, available now.
Hey, Alexa. People are telling me about illegal aliens. How many illegal aliens did you let in on your watch?
I am so glad we do not have to hear that any longer. Any longer. Goodbye, Kamala. You're fired. What a night it was. It was absolutely amazing. Before I hit start on this stream, this is what happened with Donald Trump.
And unprecedented campaign concludes with Donald Trump once again becoming president-elect. And just moments ago, the Fox News decision desk can project that President-elect Trump will, in addition to everything that he's got so far, claim Michigan. It completes his sweep of the 3 blue wall battlegrounds as he did back in 2016. Trump recapturing the White House after a strong performance in all the battleground states that could potentially see him win all 7 of them, though 2 remain uncalled at this point. An unprecedented campaign.
292, and they're not done with the count. I know we were talking about last night. I think we were saying 310 to finish off the top. 310. What a sweep! Amazing evening. Barry Soetoro's reign is no longer. I'm going to share a couple libs freaking out because I can't get enough of salty libs freaking out. People were waking up, boo-hooing and crying. I just couldn't get enough of it. Right before I went to bed last night, it made me have sweet dreams. Here is Jake Tapper and Anderson Cooper talking about the greatest comeback in American history. Jake Tapper, mind you, and Anderson Cooper talking about this.
And Anderson, it is hard to think of a political comeback that is actually more significant than this one. I'm tempted to say Richard Nixon, but that really falls short of what Donald Trump has achieved.
Yeah, I mean, winning not just the electoral votes, but the popular vote as well.
And Anderson, it is.
Jake Tapper was lost yesterday. His jaw hit the floor when they asked about Kamala Harris's approval rating over Joe Biden's approval rating from the previous race. and his jaw literally hit the floor. I probably watched this a good 50 times already. And this is going to be 51, and I'll watch this over and over again just to see and hear Jake Tapatap sound like this.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
I could hear him say that. That might even be my ringtone for the next couple of weeks, just to hear Jake Tapper say, "Oh, how much has she overperformed over Biden?" Oh, literally nothing. Kamala Harris overperformed Joe Biden in 0 places. 0. Let me see what's going on in the chat. I slept great last night. Did you guys sleep amazing? I had so much inspiration. I was inspired to the direction of where this country is going. I know you guys slept great too. Yeah, somebody has to call Kamala and say, "Hey, where are you at? What is going on?" She's supposed to speak today, which I'll cover, and it'll be the last, fingers crossed, last time that we hear from Kamala Harris. See you later, Kamala. Got a couple more things to show you guys. Oh, I was waking up a little early. I was going to catch The View, and it was probably the highest rated view, not for reasons that they would expect, but for reasons for meltdowns like the one that Whoopi had this morning.
So, how you feel? I'll start. Yeah, go ahead. My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult, but boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it. Yeah.
Whoopi's face is absolutely priceless here. I'm going to share some more because I think I have. Oh, we saw this last night. This gentleman right here absolutely freaked out live on his stream.
I can't believe Trump's actually going to win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so pissed off. Fuck. God damn it.
I could watch these all day. Let's jump into some more View. Let's jump into some View here. Okay. Here is what they had to say on The View. That dog's barking up a storm out there. I don't know what she's barking at.
Well, I want to dig further into the demographics because Black women tried to save this country again last night. 92% of Black women voted for the vice president. You have Latinas in the 70 percentile voting for the vice president. What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women is my understanding. You have Latino men actually voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms? And why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community?
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this race.
We have to look at the demographics of it. Well, I want to dig further into the demographics because
Did you hear this? She said uneducated white women.
President. Right. So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health?
Are you kidding me? Uneducated white women? This race card BS is just a continuous, perpetual cycle of the divide that is occurring in this country. This type of rhetoric from these mainstream level media, from places like The View, is the reason why there is a divide in this country. Uneducated white women? What?
Health freedoms. And why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community?
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this race.
We have.
Exactly. It is the takeaway from this race. These mainstream level media continues to put these people, us in general, into boxes. And it continues to create this divide, which perpetuates this ridiculous rhetoric. And then we have Skeletor, Mr. Sharpton, going on MSDNC saying the same crap.
Just say really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of,
with other Hispanics. You've got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations.
That's absolutely ridiculous to me. It's not the fact that she's not even black, okay? And it's not the fact that she's a female, but she's just not the one. You know, like she is just not the one, right? If it was, let's say, Tulsi Gabbard is a female that I can get behind. Kamala Harris, the only person that's getting behind her is Willie Brown.
I just say, Rip.
Oh, man. Here's some more of The View.
I don't know. I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America Makes a Perilous Choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should.
In that case, why is it so difficult for felons to even rent a home? It's a perpetuant cycle. The system, in regards of reintegrating back into society for individuals, actual convicted felons, have a very difficult time reintegrating in society. The discrimination regarding checking a box if you're a convicted felon, and then also the ability to rent a home. They can't rent homes. That's this lady, and this continued rhetoric is absolutely ridiculous.
Be prevented from employment.
The other thing, when she was talking about her mom, it brought up this conversation, or this thought that Tim Walz said during a rally. Tim Walz said that, okay, his mom has to wait for her Social Security check to come in every month to buy groceries. What a POS. Tim Walz, you make money and you can't help your mom. She has to wait for a Social Security check to pay for groceries. I am glad that that buffoon did not get elected. I am so glad.
Ever. My point is this.
Oh boy, oh boy. Kevin O'Leary made a great point this morning on, I think it was Fox and Friends or Fox News this morning. And here's what he had to say.
You're going to love this. What's happened here is the system self-corrected. When you try and break the American model, it fixes itself. And I think people should give credit within the Democratic Party. Donald Trump saved them tonight, too, because they're going to have to take a spatula to these policies and bring it back to the center over the next 4 years. And in a way, reset. And we talked about this earlier, but he saved entrepreneurship. He saved the entire model of the S&P 500, because taxing 20% higher was a really bad idea, and it self-corrected. Capital, and this is why I'm getting on a plane tomorrow night. I intentionally didn't leave till tomorrow night so I could go to Geneva, go to Abu Dhabi, go to Riyadh, and say it's 21% corporate taxes, 100% not going to change. That is very important for people like me that bring capital back to this country. It fixed itself. It fixed itself. And I think that's why America works. It has worked for 200 years. When it gets too crazy, it fixes itself. And whether you love Trump or you hate him, every Democrat owes him a thank you very much, Mr. President.
By the way, as the markets, the poly market and all these election markets were moving, Bitcoin went up exponentially. Of
course, yes, I'm long Bitcoin.
Are you? So you're buying later.
Yeah, speaking
Of course it did. I haven't looked at the stock market reports today, but I'm sure
You're going to love this.
they are
What's happened here,
projecting a significant increase. And I'll end it with this here. We have our main man, Scott Jennings, on CNN.
This is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote.
for the first time for a Republican, for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids. And they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz and the camo hats. Night after night after night, we were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line. And we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong. But I think for all of us who cover elections and talk about elections and do this on a day-to-day basis, we have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
We've had enough. Scott Jennings dropped the mic with that final statement there. Americans are tired of being pushed around and bullied and gaslit for political gain with no other reason aside from the individual or party to gain for themselves financially. It's crazy to me that Nancy Pelosi, AOC, I get where she's at. She's in New York. People voted AOC back in. Sam Brown won Nevada. Shout out to Sam Brown. But these people are doing things for their own political gain, their own financial pockets. And last night, leading up all to the election, Americans stood stern and voted in a candidate that they believe, that I believe, will help unite America once again. Van Jones is a huge turd. He is. He was whining and crying last night, pulling the race card, all this other bull crap. The gaslight party lost big time in an L slide. They did. It was a huge L slide. The memes are brewing. The intro web is steaming with them. Michelle says, Tyson and the family, thank you so much. We had so much fun rocking with you last night for the election results and look forward to a beautiful, bright future. Love and blessings to each and every single, to every one of us. Yes, same here. I will be, I'll stream Kamala Harris's speech. Apparently, from the chat, somebody had said that Kamala Harris called Donald Trump last night and conceded. We'll hear her public announcements today. I think that will be out at, I think it's 3 p.m. PST, if I'm correct. But anyways, guys, I am going to jump on out of here. I am grinning from ear to ear. So much energy. I'm so proud of this country. And shout out to Scott Pressling, who did a lot of foot campaigning for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. Did a lot of footwork in Pennsylvania and showed up big time. That was a huge swing state. So if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the chat, and shout out to all the moderators. You guys rock. The chat, super awesome. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to jump on out of here and drop your comments down below. Smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys later. Let's go. Donald Trump.